Hello everybody, Vibius here, comrades, and today I have a game for you from two people from the Nurch clan, being Chrysalit and Sylvia. Um, I don't know these players, they're 1700-ish players for so far I know. This is a game I got linked from Shino, a friend of mine, and he said it was quite very good macroing. I watched through it for like very fast for a little bit, and the macroing seems so freaking good. You guys, really, you should be pumped about this. Um, yeah, I'll fast. Let's look what we have. We got Chrysalit playing as the Huns, and Sylvia also playing as the Hun. So we got a Hun war on this game here, scouting with the sheeps as always, and the same going on for Chrysalit, or however you need to pronounce it. I'm not sure though. I'll fast forward this beginning a little bit, so we'll see where the big differences are. Building a lumber camp for Chrysalit and moving his sheeps all together again. Uh, Going for his first boar, being at 11 population, 13 for Sylvia. Sylvia's definitely topping in the score at the moment, getting some on berry bushes on the second boar. Let's see at Chrysalit also his second boar, a few farms up already. And Ant has scouted, or think he will scout his enemy. Yes, he has scouted his enemy already. The same is going on for Sylvia, which also explored his enemy. And they're both getting back almost equally to the score. Sylvia taking back the lead there, but really small difference. And we got Sylvia, which moved up to feudal age with 23 or 22 population. And do we see a barrack? Yes, and an archery range. And another archery age, so probably going to see archers, and in castle age probably going to see the cavalry archers. Let's see with what Chrysalit is doing. He also moved up to the feudal age, not yet having a barracks up, or what is this? Going very aggressively for Chrysalit, making his forward base here, only with having one archery range, building up a tower here to prevent any gold income and try to do as much damage as they can up here, and going to have the hill advantage with his tower. Moving up forces one by one here, not the smartest choice, but the enemy doesn't have that big of an army either, so doing this might be able to win this easily off, but I don't think it will be done so quickly. Probably mainly because I've already seen it, but I don't want to spoil anything here. Okay, let's fast forward a little bit more as they're getting more army, having a few in here, making palisades to wall this off so no units will be able to attack it, getting gold mine up here to cheaply steal the gold income, having skirmishers versus skirmishers and a tower to counter. Let's see what's going on for the economically side of Sylvia. Economically, 10 farmers, 4 forage bush gatherers, and 14 lumberjacks, 3 miners. If we look at Chrysalit, he has about equal, some less farms, but shouldn't be too big of a problem. Going on to stone for Sylvia, so we'll probably see more towers in the near future, like already going one up there. Let's look at Chrysalit, what he's doing. Let's get this back to the normal looking of score. Only so not that much actually onto wood by the looks of it, and but having a little stocking up here and a little force here of the skirmishers, but a way bigger force of skirmishers for Sylvia. Neither of the players, oh, I was going to say neither, but we see here a blacksmith up for Chrysalit. By the looks of it, Chrysalit is going to win this little battle here, mainly because he has blacksmith upgrades. He has +1 attack and 1 against pierce armor upgrade thingy, which the skirmishers of Sylvia don't have. This tower almost finished getting up his blacksmith finally and building a stable. And another tower up also for Chrysalid about the same time. But no way anymore for stealing this gold for Chrysalid, so a good plan to put up his tower there, having up this table, creating some Scout cavalry. Let's speed this game up again a little bit because this is actually a very long game. Not that very long, it's about an hour or so. I'm going to repair this and macroing very well this tower to also attack the skirmishers, so they're winning, moving up the hill with these skirmishers, so they have the hill advantage, taking them one by one. Not that much going on at this point, almost having this tower down here, but also almost going to lose this tower, macroing this skirmishers here to take down the villagers one by one, but the villagers having the pierce armor upgrades and loom, so they won't die that quickly by the looks of it. And retreating with the skirmishers, of course, because of the Scout cavalry and being old man of just skirmishers. Let's look what Chrysalid is doing. He has expanded his forward base with 1 archer range and a blacksmith, as I mentioned before, doing still a little bit of scouting. Or no, he actually made a stable and is sending in scouts. By the looks of it now, Sylvia is topping the score probably because he has better economy, but we see a lot of farms actually going up for Chrysalid, so this might intend their boat actually probably going to try to go castle very soon. 55 population for Sylvia and only 37 for Chrysalid, or however you pronounce that beast. Trying to build up another tower here. By the looks of it, he's not going to succeed because of the defense from the skirmishers of Sylvia. Building up his mining camp here because he has spotted his gold, a back gold resource. By the looks of it, only going 2 villagers on it, but probably going to try to castle pretty soon, as we see so many farms. I'm building a second mining camp because this one is actually pretty far and uphill. Let's look at Chrysalid, where he also only has 3 onto gold but 2 onto stone to also make more towers. Let's look at his base here, walling in these archery ranges so they can't use or get out with any of the units getting created, doing the same one for this archery range. So this forward base is pretty much actually lost for Chrysalid if he's not going to do anything about it. Let's fast forward again a little bit. Both players probably stocking up resources. No, Chrysalid is not stocking up resources, but Sylvia is stocking up resources to see to go towards the castle 8. So he'll be probably making cavalry archers the obvious choice to do with a little harassment here. So I was going to say cavalry archers because of the hunts and doing quite some harassment, but these spearmen here moving in, which are probably going to be able to take down quite a few of these scouts. And by the looks of it, Sylvia is going castle 8, while Chrysalid is not even sparing up anything yet and making this army, which is even not that big. By the looks of it, Sylvia really has the advantage in army wise, in timing wise and economically. At this point, although they are very close to score, by the looks of it, I think Sylvia will win this from this point on. Let's see what is in these archery ranges. Only 1 skirmisher at both sides, but Sylvia doesn't know this, so this might be a way to scare the opponent. I'm not sure though if he actually intends this. The reason why Chrysalit is staying up is, I think, because he has a better scouting done and moving in again with an army of scouts, and now probably going to start uh, stocking up his resources to go Castle Age, building up a tower here at this gold and this wood, so when he gets harassed he'll be easily able to defend it. The same here for this actually watchtower. He might wanted to put one up here, I'm not sure though. And again the scouts moving in for the harassment, while the force of Sylvia is actually moving also in at this same point, but almost up to Castle Age already, while Chrysalit is not even advancing yet any way soon. This is quite the exciting battle. If Sylvia can take this as an advantage and early make on this Castle Age forces and special units, he'll be able to devastate Chrysalit. But Chrysalit macroing his scouts very well everywhere, doing a little bit of harassment, if I'm able to speak it out correctly. And by the looks of it, Sylvia is going knights, which you don't see very often when playing hunts. Most of the time they prefer to go cavalry archers. Let's look at what Chrysalit is doing. He's not even yet anyway near advancing again, making spearments the obvious choice for trying to counter those knights, of course. Here a little harassment from Sylvia onto Chrysalit, and still they are very close in score. These spearmen really going to devastate these Scold cavalry, if not micro it well. But what are you doing, Sylvia? You're retreating, but you easily could fight off this army here. Going to go for the knights, of course, with these three scouts and one spearman. And retreating, of course, as the way it is. To retreat is more winning than losing an entire army and only killing a few in this game. Quite a few stables up here for making scout cavalries. At this point also making a new barrack probably for building spearmen, which is still getting created in this forward base, but which you won't be able to do that much. Having two archer rangers here still not producing anything, of course, because of the wall off. Let's speed this up a little bit, because I think Sylvia will soon encounter here with a few knights, which are devastating, but having these spearmen to counter this is the obvious and wise choice of Chrysalit, which is back topping the score, although he's not yet going yet onto the feudal age. So what we are seeing here is a castle age fight versus feudal age. The only way to survive this is keeping on creating units and macroing the hell out of it. You see here great macroing from these two forces to make the spearmen get into the front of this actually battle. And losing one of his very expensive units here, but macroing them well to please do retreat. But moving in here with another force, going to be able to backstab and group up against these scout cavalries if wanted to. And by the looks of it, he's going castle age right now at the moment as I'm speaking, but losing so much scout cavalry, so much food wasted there. And let's look if Sylvia already has up another town center. No, he does not. He really could have gotten an even bigger economically advantage if he would have done this. Let's look at Chrysalid, what he's going to do at this point. Microing back some Scout Cavalry, grouping up with some Spearmen right here, having another group of Spearmen going to secure this base here for trying to defend his gold and wood income, of course. At this point, Sylvia is again topping the score, moving in here with a lot of knights. Let's fast forward this again a little bit and watch this battle. And retreating for Sylvia because of the group of spearmen, of course, and getting up to the castle age, probably going to get normal pikemen's upgrade soon. Moving in with the spearmen here, and let's see, we got cavalry archers coming up for Sylvia, which is a great thing to always do. Combined with these knights, this might be a very good combination. Let's fast forward again a little bit until these spearmen are here, or are they not going to attack? Taking gold also here from that forward gold place, and getting up another town center. And moving in here with the force, which is combined of cavalry archers and knights. Let's see what Chrysalid actually has of army at this point. He has mainly this light cavalry and these pikemen, so it's still quite the same combination for him, not looking like he's going to switch tactics any way soon, having also a second town center already up. If you look at the population, it's 88 versus 104. This is mainly due to, I think, Sylvia having a better economy. We might see a third town center soon, I hope so. I'm not sure when this will happen actually. And here we see a force of light cavalry moving in, but having those pikemen both macroing well, forcing these knights to retreat and not being able to encounter. But having those cavalry archers will probably be used to macro down the pikemen, or yes they are, so they lose all the pikemen on the way and they're actually not that effective of an army anymore. But you see great macroing on both sides here. Really, this game is a great example of how to macro very well, taking hill advantage everywhere where they can, but the cavalry archers shooting everything one by one, moving in an extra force of cavalry archers and building a third town center. Let's look if Chrysalid already has a third town center. Yes, he does, which makes him also spot another gold source. So we have 3 gold sources here pretty near to each other. Chrysalid almost lost his entire force here, and at the moment Sylvia is up with 1000 score lead. Losing some cavalry archers here by the pikemen, but great macroing on all the sides actually. And we see an university coming up, so this might indicate they'll soon go up to Imperial age. Let's look what Chrysalid is doing. Is he going to go? He's also mixing up with knights, by the way, but by the looks of it he's not going Imperial age soon, so this might indicate again that Sylvia is again going to be the first to actually advance. Moving in with his knights, but going to get forced to retreat again because of the pikemen. But moving in with the cavalry archers from the hill, which will be able to do quite some damage if these two groups group up. Using the knights as distraction to kite these guys around, while the cavalry archers are just taking it down one by one. So we got Sylvia getting up his gold to be able to advance very soon. I think so, anyway. Let's look at Chrysalid, what he's doing. Chrysalid actually lost a big force here of his army, but still forcing Sylvia to retreat because he almost lost all his knights except for this one, which will die pretty soon. So yeah, having all these stables up here doesn't indicate that he's going to go Imperial Age very soon. While we see Sylvia sparing up his gold mainly and not producing any gold intensive units at this point, so or just a few, not that much anyway, so he'll be able to still defend, but looking like he's sparing up the most of his gold to go towards Imperial Age, also building a castle up here to defend and get his upgrades once reaching Imperial Age. So here we have still these archery range being up here, one got destroyed and all the towers are down too. And again creating light cavalries and spamming these out together with some knights. And no more pikemen at this point being created. So this might indicate that oh, we got a market coming up. This might indicate that he wants to go Imperial Age pretty soon. But we got Sylvia almost having his gold he needs. If he would have sold some of his food he has and a way too big stock, he might be able to sell it, and getting up his markets right here to probably sell it, and creating some gold less intensive units, these light cavalry, as he has too much food anyway. And we'll see him advancing very soon as he has 500 gold already and 2000 food, which is not the case for Chrysalid, which is still producing this very gold intensive knights. You see here again another encounter with cavalry archers versus knights, which isn't the best choice to do because he'll probably lose a big force of his army if he's not going to micro this very well. Let's fast forward this battle a little bit. So losing that one scout there, which isn't that big of a problem because they don't cost that much gold actually. So they retreated by the looks of it. And let's go look at what Sylvia's doing. He's moving up to the Imperial Age, getting handguard, also having his castle up here, which is on a very good defensive spot, creating more and more cavalry archers to be able to probably mass these out and upgrade them once reaching up to Imperial Age. Again, these scores are getting again closer to each other, so the lead from Sylvia is really gone at this stage. If you look at Chrysalid, he's still not moving up to Imperial Age, so he'll probably be again in a late Imperial Age, so we'll probably see again Imperial Age versus Castle Age. Moving up here with this big force of cavalry archers, and what is this? I'm not sure what that intended to be, but whatever. Let's fast forward this little bit, these incoming cavalry archers here, seeing all of these knights probably going to try to macro them off, but probably not going to succeed so very well as knights are great versus cavalry archers. Losing very much cavalry archers here, still killing a few knights off. And retreating, which is the obvious choice in this game. Let's see if anything else is actually happening. Nope, but we have, by the looks of it, Sylvia again producing some knights, or not, but in the Imperial Age now, so we'll probably see somewhere soon the upgrade to get elite cavalry archers and better knights, so cavalry. And let's look if Chrysalid is going up yet. Yes, he is going up. So now we have the cavalry archers here moving into going to fight these knights. Again, a big group, of course, raining down arrows for Sylvia and killing off these one by one moving up knights. But now we have the entire group finally going for the encounter, which is the obvious choice to do. These cavalry archers just got upgraded to a heavy cavalry archers and going to be able to move in, and making some pikemen the obvious choice. These cavalry archers to try to counter those and might make them to halberdiers. By the looks of it, uh, Chrysalit is streaming in knights actually to a certain point and moving up to the Imperial Age while doing so. And having a siege ram in there. Let's look how this fight will go further. Let's fast forward again a little bit. Great macroing from both sides actually, as we still see these encounters coming up, retreating again, shooting again, retreating again. Really the way to macro this. Getting trapped in between here, going to be able to do a lot of damage, but going to lose all these cavalry archers as there is no way for them to retreat anymore. This is just such a big sacrifice for Sylvia. If you look at Sylvia at this point, he's not producing, he's mainly producing heavy cavalry archers, and Chrysalit finally got up to the Imperial Age. So by the looks of it, he's streaming pipements also for Sylvia, and let's look at Chrysalit. What is he going to do? Building another stable up there, having this army up here. Still not killed down all these cavalry archers, so they actually did quite a lot of damage. I thought he would lose them all. Deleting off his building here again to attack those cavalry archers which did such immense of damage. Also making some elite skirmishers. By the looks of it, Chrysalit is mainly going to try to trash the opponents with making trashing units, of course. Let's see what Sylvia is doing at this point. He's making some light cavalry archers, getting skirmish upgrade also, and having these being upgraded to halberdiers. Let's fast forward again a little bit until the next encounter. These groups grouping up here, again a group here of heavy cavalry archers, moving in here with these light cavalry archers being nothing. Having these cavalries here might be very devastating if micro hits well, but having those halberdiers not really being worth to take the risk of actually moving in. Sylvia is now up by a score lead of 2000 points. This really doesn't look that good for Chrysalit. Let's fast forward again a little bit. We have some cabbage rams up here, moving up a little force of light cavalry, probably going to try to harass the enemy quite well. Having quite a lot of idle villagers actually, because he's probably mainly trying to focus on these wars, making his base bigger and bigger slightly over time, and creating so much light cavalry. By the looks of it here, this place is really well defended by Sylvia, with all the light cavalry backed up with halberdiers for fighting off all the light cavalry or cavalier or the normal cavalier. But here we got hussar upgrades already. That's very good if you're going to trash these units. You really want to do so. Here we again have a good microing, trying to get the units from the enemy back more at your base and learn them one by one. And countering here with a few hussars which were really only trashing units, so it really didn't matter that much. They're both making big bases up forwardly more and more, having two siege rams here for Sylvia. Let's look at what Chrysalit is doing. Taking the wood here, not finishing that archery range any time soon by the looks of it, but still having quite a nice base actually. It's a very open base. Well, if you look at Sylvia, he has this spot here very well defended out with the town center and a few watchtowers and the castle here. Although this place is a little bit open, he still has watchtowers up here and here, so his base is definitely better defended by the looks of it. So we got the big encounter here of cabbage rams and siege rams and heavy cavalry archers versus cavalries. These cavalries probably going to be able to take down these siege rams pretty soon. Also, they're getting backed by halberdiers, which are going to be able to take down quite a lot of cavalry. But those halberdiers are getting shut down by elite skirmishers, and the heavy cavalry have to retreat because of the heavy cavalry archers, I mean, have to retreat because of the cavalry. Both players having a big forward base, moving in here with those cabbage rams, really going to be able to damage this forward base if moving in. Let's look at Chrysalit, which is really doing very well at the moment. Still making some cabbage rams, making units all the way possible, building up his farms up here, making a better and better economy over time, and trashing all those units. It looks to be going to be a good game fairly soon. Yellow played very defensively for a long time until he got his economy up to be able to trash so heavily. Let's see how Sylvia is actually going to get back from this, as his main gold is probably almost depleted, or it's not yet. So he would also be able to trash units, which he is doing at this point, but having so much idle villagers again for both players. But these siege cabbage rams doing so much damage and taking every military down, building down one by one, which is forcing Sylvia to build up here. Where is it, Sylvie? I actually don't know, so I'm saying Sylvia for the moment. Building up his main base again further up for Chrysalit to increase his map control and the ability to be producing more trashing units time by time. Having a lot of cabbage rams here, but by the looks of it he almost lost all his cavalry, which might if Sylvia starts making all kinds of cavalry, he might be able to move in and take down all these skirmishers and cabbage rams, which I think is what he will do pretty soon. Let's see. So we got this fight here. Chrysalit taking more and more ground, finally got into the upgrade for siege rams, which has splash damage, but here we got Inti-Bag coming in, all those cavalry is taking down probably quite a lot of these skirmishers here. But by looks of it, Chrysalit is trashing fairly heavily from all these points out. He's probably trashing as much as he can, as he got almost everything onto farms and wood, and he's not going for any relic by the looks of it, because I even can't find a monastery. Oh, would this work? No, it doesn't. So yeah, losing quite a few of his very expensive siege rams, as he doesn't have any gold anymore to make new ones. So yeah, Sylvia's still up by 2k score lead, or 2000, I could just say. I'm moving up here for wood, so both are going to start trashing, I think, fairly soon. You see here the hussars moving in, definitely a trashing unit, getting Markowitz here very well, getting backed with cavalry archers, which will be able to do quite some damage. So we see a further fighting down here, which is getting lost by Sylvia because of its backed of pikeets. So if you see this fight, there will be more and more trashing, while Chrysalit is slightly taking back the score lead. And Chrysalit, their both bases are like getting together at this very point here. So let's see what happens actually at this point. This might be very interesting. All these elite skirmishers taking back ground, and here we got retreating and moving back up, retreating and moving back up, getting a town center up there also for Chrysalit. This is a very intense game. War on all sides, constantly trashing units, all that great stuff. And here we got another force getting in from Chrysalit, a group of hussars. And here again, looking like he's going to win this battle over here. Let's look what Sylvia is doing actually at this point. He's also trashing, not making any gold intensive units, as he is also run out of all his gold. But having a lot of food, he might be able to make tons of hussars if he wants to. Let's look at what Chrysalit is doing. Just mainly a battle up here. Going to lose quite a few of his buildings by the looks of it, because the trashing of Chrysalit is way better. Building up this siege workshop here, probably going to make a few siege ramps if he can trade some of his resources for gold. Moving in here, taking down this entire thing here. It looks like it's going to be a good game again fairly soon for Chrysalit. I don't know which language they are speaking, so excuse me if I'm not able to say what they are saying. So yeah, taking this forward base entirely down here, having this big force of trash units actually. So here you see again once how important it is to have a great economy, so you can in later games start trashing. Comrades, as always, subscribe if you haven't yet. Anyway, if you have already, you don't have to like unsubscribe and subscribe back. That would be kind of silly, wouldn't it? So yeah, this was a game I got from Shino. This is actually a friend of him playing. I think Chrysalit is his friend. So yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed. Favorite, like, comment. Send me a private message if you want me commentating on one of your games, or just to ask anything you want to. Or play versus me, but I'm really terrible actually. Well, I'm not terrible, but I'm beginner noob, if you can say so. So yeah, but we'll see. Be sure to check out the 2-hour dual commentary I did with Sammy Princeton. He's uploading it in different parts onto the too much United Comrades channel. So this will be it, comrades. I hope you guys enjoyed as much as I enjoyed making this for you guys. Yeah, I'll talk to you guys later.